Hello, Mr. Cove here, and today I want to talk about the gym. To be real clear, I'm an old fat guy at this point, very far from being in great shape. I have, however, been involved in fitness for most of the last 35 years, with a couple breaks in there. This video is going to be information for, elite and people are trying to squeeze out the last few percent of efficiency in their workout or something like that. Like a D1 athlete, bodybuilder, fitness influencer, stuff like that. They know what they're doing, and this video is not meant for them. Um, Also, you do have to be careful listening to those type of people. If they're trying to sell you something, more often than not, they're being disingenuous about what's mainly contributing towards their success. It's probably not the overpriced supplement they're trying to sell you or the secret workout plan they just discovered. So just keep that in mind when you're watching those types of people. What this video is going to be is for people that just, they're trying to get to the gym a few times a week, just your normal average person. And I just want those people to get the most out of it. So that's what this video is going to be about. And we'll go ahead and get to the first issue here. So I see this every time I go to the gym. And that is people doing things that are not compound movements. That is not to say that nobody should ever do isolation movements, but if you look around the gym and you just see what people are doing, you can see this anecdotally almost immediately. You'll see the bigger, stronger people doing compound movements, and then you'll see the people that you might not even know go to the gym. They're over on the cables, they're doing isolation movements, maybe they're on a machine. And that's the worst thing I think that I see at the gym, where people could get a lot more out of their time if they did things differently. So let's kind of go over that. Let's use an example that I see all the time. Maybe you have, a young guy, he's doing like a push-pull leg split, and today's push day, right? So they're going to go start over in the bench press, which is great, but maybe they just do a quick 3 sets of 10. Maybe they're on the bench for like 5 minutes total, didn't take many, minutes of rest in between sets, maybe not even a minute. And then they go on to the next exercise. And then the rest of the workout is a bunch of isolation and support exercises, essentially for the bench press. They'll do cable flies, tricep extensions, some dumbbell stuff, whatever. Maybe they, fill 45 minutes out with their workout, and, then they're done with their push day. And it's not that they're not working hard. They're not wasting time. They're doing the things. Like, it looks like they're, getting the most out of what they're doing, right? So it's not that they're lazy. It's not that they're not working hard or, putting in the effort. It's just, if they did it a little differently, say they have those 45 minutes, if they would have spent, say, 30 minutes benching, taking a proper, 3-minute rest time in between sets, doing sets that are like, 3 to 10 reps, maybe each set is just kind of leaving 1 rep in the tank, getting almost a failure on all the sets, but not quite. And then maybe after that, they just throw in a couple exercises. They do like a tricep extension at the last tricep muscle that isn't worked as well at the bench press, and then maybe like a side delt to get the lateral raise to get the side delt, because that's not worked greatly with the bench press either. And then that's about it. That's their day for push. I guarantee you they'd get way stronger and bigger faster doing that workout compared to the one that they're doing, where they're doing like 10 exercises or something, and spend 5 minutes on the bench press. So why even bother with isolation movements? Honestly, your average gym goer shouldn't be doing many of them. If you're a bodybuilder spending double-digit hours in the gym a week, then yes, you have to be doing, some isolation movements. You can't just be doing heavy compound lifts, 12 hours a week and not get burned out. Your CNS is going to be fried, stuff like that. But that's someone who's also trying to get every muscle, as much work in the week as they possibly can. The other reason to do isolation is for like a weakness. Again, weakness is kind of characterized in a bad way in the fitness industry. All of us are weak and all of our muscles are weak for the most part. Like if you're a bodybuilder and, you're on, a bunch of stuff and, you're working out literally, twice a day for hours. Some of your muscles aren't going to develop as much as others. That's just a genetic thing. And then they have to put more work into those muscles to develop those than, maybe another person would. So a set of isolation exercises for one bodybuilder is going to be different than another. Just genetically, they have to work harder on a certain area. But they're trying to be, symmetrical and win contests and whatever, right? The rest of us are not trying to do that. The other 99.99% of us don't have those weaknesses that are really described as like bodybuilding things that don't apply to us. So, the vast majority of us are just trying to get to the gym a few times a week and be healthier. No, we don't have to worry about those weaknesses. If you want to bench a lot, you bench a lot. That's really all there is to it. So why did people start doing this? In the past, they didn't. Many, many years ago, people didn't work out like this. When bodybuilding became more popular, there started to be more fitness magazines, more articles, more stuff on workouts and whatever. And then you try time travel to today. We have workout apps, fitness YouTubers, people trying to sell you, new routines or their app or whatever. And you can't just say, go to the gym a few times a week and do a bunch of compound movements. And, that's not going to sell magazines or get YouTube views, right? So the fitness industry has greatly complicated things, trying to reinvent the wheel, kind of, just have a reason for you to buy or view content. And so unfortunately, the new normal is actually a much less efficient, overly complicated mess where, people are doing like 15 exercises to work out when they could have done 1 to 3 and got way more productivity out of it. So I don't blame people for doing it. That's like, if you're watching, stuff on YouTube and you're reading magazines or looking up stuff, that's the type of stuff you're going to see. So I get it. But if you tried it the other way, the way people used to work out, you'd see that it's just vastly superior and you get so much more out of your time. If, you're just the type of person that's the normal gym goer, just going a few times a week, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, a session or something. Now we have a second issue, and I'm kind of bad with this as well, but I at least know how it works. So what do most people do when they're done, in the weight room? They head over to the cardio room and they do, 15 to 30 minutes of cardio or whatever they're going to do to end their workout after their weights, right? Now this is less problematic than the, just doing a bunch of isolation movements and not doing compounds, but it's still not ideal. Doing cardio after weightlifting does lessen the effect of that workout. You will build less muscle and you'll get less out of your workout by doing it like this. Now you can reverse the order where you do cardio first and then weightlift, and that will be slightly better as far as getting more out of your workout, but it's still not ideal. Ideally, you want to split the days with your cardio and weightlifting. So if your schedule enables you to do that, do so. That's going to be much better for your workout if you're able to do that. If you're not able to do that, but say you're able to split your workouts within a day, say you go lift before work and then do cardio after, that's better than combining them, immediately into one workout. But it is still better to split them up with days if possible. Now, if you can't do that and your schedule allows you to go 3 times a week or whatever, I'm not saying don't do the cardio. You're still better off doing the cardio after your weightlifting. So if this concept doesn't override the fact that this is what you have, availability for, keep doing what you're doing. And just know you're getting slightly less out of it than you would have. But you still want to do the cardio, and you don't want to skip one or the other if you're only going to be doing it, say, once a week instead, because, you wanted to split up the days. So this is one of those, if you're able to do it type of things, do it. But, don't compromise your workouts to the point where you're just not weightlifting or doing enough cardio because you don't want to do them together. If you have to, do them together, but just know that, it is ideal to split them for days. And for me, I'd often work out before playing basketball. I've been able to play basketball the last couple of years, had some Achilles injuries, but I would have like a day off. I'd go work out for, maybe an hour and a half, then go play basketball for, 2-3 hours. And I would absolutely notice that workout was less effective than other workouts. It was really clear. And now the normal person probably isn't going to go play, 2-3 hours of basketball after working out. 30 minutes of cardio is going to be as bad as what I was doing. But it's definitely something that you notice if, you have workouts where you're not doing cardio. If you do that, you'll be able to see the difference and be like, oh, I'm getting stronger from these other days, much easier than I am when I combined it. So just having that knowledge will be helpful. And then again, if your schedule allows you to change it, do so. If not, keep doing what you're doing. All right. The last thing is more for a specific type of person. This is the young guy in the gym that just kind of started working out. Usually, if you have some skinny young guy who's pretty ripped, but just weak, they'll be in there just crushing it. They'll be grunting. They'll be working really hard. And then a few months later, you see they're pretty much doing the same weights that they were. And what are those people doing wrong? The biggest thing is they need to eat more. And that just has to be something they do. Now, if you're like me and you have like a dad bod and you're fat, say I haven't worked out in a few years, if I go to the gym, I don't need to gain weight to gain muscle. I will get my newbie beginner gains and probably lose fat at the same time. But essentially that fat on my body is extra calories available for my body to build muscle. And you can even lose a little weight while, doing that if you're out of shape and new to working out. So, but the young guy who doesn't have a lot of fat on his body, not a lot of muscle either, but still, lean, they don't have those available calories to add that muscle to their body. So they do have to do something different with their diet when they start, even from the beginning, to get something out of it. So now bulking and cutting is the most effective way of gaining muscle, but most people don't do it like that. If you are someone that wants to add quite a bit of muscle, then that is how you're going to want to do it. You want to do bulking phases and then cutting phases. For me, where weightlifting is just kind of a supplement to play basketball, I don't want to be fluctuating in weight, 10, 15, 20 pounds on purpose, right? Now, I'm bad in the kitchen, so that might just happen anyways, but I don't necessarily want to do it on purpose. But for people that are really trying to maximize their gains in the gym with weightlifting, bulking and cutting is the way to do it. But anyways, so it's back to that young guy who's not really getting anything out of working out yet. I would just suggest whey protein for them. They have to up their calories, but they also want them to be good calories. So whey protein powders, like a decent mid-range whey protein, is going to add a bunch of protein and not a lot of calories. There's not a lot of fat and sugar added to like a mid-range whey protein. And that is a great way to just kind of throw that in and be able to get, good lean calories in to help them get with their, initial gains that they would be getting in the gym if they just up their calories a little bit. I would stay away from protein bars and the pre-made drinks. Those are usually considerably more expensive and worse than the whey powders. And definitely don't do like the mass gainers. Kids may see that and think that's a good idea. Those are just trash calories for the most part. So unless you're really someone that just can't seem to get enough calories in to gain weight, that would be something I would not, try to do. So stick with the whey protein, see if that works. If not, maybe just eat some more calories in general. But those young guys that are, they're doing all the right things, just not eating enough. That's what's stopping them. So, that is about it for this video. As I've gotten older, it's been more of a struggle to get to the gym. And for those of you that do manage to still get there, or, just starting to now, great job. That's the biggest thing, is to get there. But knowing that it's harder for me every day to get to the gym, for all those of you out there that are working hard, getting to the gym, doing the right thing, I'd like you to get the most out of it too. And since I've been looking into this and, kind of been interested in fitness for, again, most of the last 35 years, I do have a little bit of knowledge. I'm certainly not one of the fitness YouTubers that has like a doctorate in sports science or anything like that. But, I do know slightly more than the average person about this stuff. So I hope this video helped just your average gym goer that maybe isn't getting as much as they hoped out of the gym. And maybe this will help them get a little more. And then that'll be motivating to go to the gym even more and keep with it. So I hope that's the case. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.